Hi guys, Mauro here. How do you react when people criticize you? How will you rate your self-control, let's say your self-belief, your self-worth when people start talking about you? I want to talk about how we react, how we let other people affect the way we think about ourselves, what we can do, how we can start working to pretty much becoming immune to criticism from other people. Everybody knows that one of the best things that you can do to pretty much be successful in anything in life is not really caring, literally giving a rat's ass about social conditioning. But this is a very, very, very difficult thing to achieve. Um, some of the I wanted to talk just a little bit really quick about some stories from successful people that struggled early in their careers, as Michael Jordan, that as you know he was cut out of his high school team before becoming the most successful basketball player of all time. Um, Babe Ruth, one of the best batters in the history of baseball. He had for 10 years he had the highest strikeout for 10 years before he became Babe Ruth, one of the best baseball players, one of the best players in the game. Tom Landry, who was if I'm not wrong, the Dallas Cowboys coach for a long time. Tom Landry, the first season that he coached in the NFL, he had the record for the worst season ever with no wins at all. No wins at all for the first season. And in the next four seasons, he had five or less wins in each and every one of them. And there is also a tennis player, Stan Smith, who he won Wimbledon, he won the U.S. Open, and he won 8 times Davis Cup, which is a competition of nations. I mean, he was an exceptional tennis player. But when we was a kid, he was rejected to be a ball boy in a professional tennis match because they say he was clumsy and uncoordinated. So these are things that society's criticism against you is something that is going to be very common. It's something that is going to happen whether you're good or not at something. That's a fact. I mean, it's just going to happen. That is something that we really cannot do much about it. It's just something that the best thing we can do is learn to ignore it, learn to not let it get to us. Okay. Now we know there are three different kinds of criticism. We have the destructive criticism, which is a kind of criticism that we really want to ignore. We have the constructive criticism, which is a criticism that is good for us. It's hard to accept because nobody likes criticism, but that's actually the one that is gonna make us better at whatever goal you want to achieve. And self-criticism, which can be good but can be devastatingly destructive as well. So it's very important to put attention to all three. So um, just three. Okay, I started working. I in my mind months ago, a little more than 3 months, a little more than 90 days ago, I decided that I was gonna become. I knew that becoming better at dealing not only self criticism but criticism from other people, that was gonna improve dramatically my chances of achieving the goals that I have. And not only that, but it just will give me, it's just something that I knew it will help me help my self-esteem, my self-worth, become a better person, think more clear, and just imagine not letting what other people say to you or what they do affect you. So I decided that I was going to commit. I say, I know that's one of the things that is going to help me. So I'm going to start working on not letting any kind of criticism, affect me. If I put something on Facebook, there's always going to be someone from my friends that is gonna put something. There's someone that has to respond. whether you put something about sports or you put something about politics, or you put, I mean, anything, if you even if you just say, you know what, I went on a trip to Louisiana, and somebody's gonna say, oh yeah, Louisiana, big thing, I went to Hawaii or Cancun last week, okay, whatever, something. So I just, on whatever it is, if it's Facebook or Instagram, or if you have Snapchat or anything that you put out there, there is always something that someone can say. And a lot of times, it's to people that are supposed to be friends. So one of the things that I started working with that. The truth is that I did commit so strongly to it, and I had been thinking about it for such a long time, that when I decided that I was gonna start working on not letting that affect me, not responding first whenever I put something on my Facebook or my Instagram or something like that, on my videos on YouTube. I'm just not gonna let people that leave negative feedback, or destructive criticism. I'm just not gonna reply to them. I'm not gonna let it get to me. You start thinking about that person, or that comment or something, and sometimes it can go for hours and hours and hours and days, and sometimes, I mean, even weeks. You remember that thing, and you just get in a bad mood. So I say, I commit. I'm I'm gonna form such a strong image of myself that I am not gonna let anything get to me. If they want to put something that I don't like, and if I read something that I don't like, I always like to read my feedbacks on my YouTube videos, or what people put on my Facebook, but I mean, and I say, I'm not gonna let it get to me. I have to learn to, and the best way to deal with it is got to be, you go directly, go straight head on to the bull. Okay, you just grab it by the horns, and that's the only way to do it. I thought you have to be able to read those, to get to the point where you read those comments that you don't like, and you literally, emotionally, you're like, okay, that's just someone's opinion. That I really, that kind of opinion, I don't care. um, I'm not trying to convince that person about what I'm saying. That person is not gonna try to convince me. It's just that person opinion, and it's like, I don't care. It's like, to me, that was something that I thought is gonna be like, when you find out that someone didn't like you when you were in school many many years ago, probably like junior high or high school or something. Say, oh, did you know, by the way, you know what, I couldn't stand you. And do you probably know that person for 20 years or 5 years or 2 years, but you didn't know. And because you didn't know that, he never bug you, and you were like, really, but just think about the time when that happened and you didn't know. It doesn't bug you at all. It doesn't, I mean, you just go on with your life. So that in my head, that was the idea, that you got to get to the point where you don't care. So I started with the exercise, and I have to say that after around 90 days, it's been, I mean, it's been amazing. I still have a long way to go, but it's I mean, it's unbelievable, the how much better I feel, how much more calm and clear thinking. Some of the good things that you get when you start learning to control yourself, and when you start pretty much leaning towards this. My opinion is the only opinion that counts. I can listen to people that wanna help me, but in the end, it's my opinion, and what I think of me. That's what I'm going to respect, and I'm standing for that. I'm not going to let other people destroy my reputation, or destroy, not really my reputation, but just destroy my self-image. So you rely on your word, and only your word. And some of the good things about doing that is that you have much more self-control. Just start. It's amazing, the self-control, that you listen to other people talking about something, and you want to interfere, but you just kind of say, you know what, I don't need to. You learn to stop yourself. Or even sometimes, if you're talking with someone, with a friend or something, and someone else jumps into the conversation, they start blah, blah, and they say something that you don't like, just whatever situation that you don't like, that you usually, sometimes in the past, you just snap and start, trying to defend or attack or something. And you just listen to that person like, okay, and totally ignoring it. And not ignoring it in the bad way, I mean, just saying, all right, that's your opinion. Good for you, not mine. So self-control is one of the things. It was one of the first thing. And guys, self-control is just amazing. You get self-control, and it's gonna help you in every aspect of your life. It's priceless. So, second thing is, when you learn to control the criticism, you get more drive. What you want to do doesn't get destroyed. You don't doubt yourself. You don't doubt yourself, so you get that drive and you get into action. What the things that you want to do, you do it. You don't stop because some guy said, or I was told, or they made me doubt myself, or they told me this, and I'm all pissed, and I'm out of control, and I'm just like, my layers and layers of emotion are controlling me and driving me, and I'm that person that just goes insane because God forgives that, God forbids that I don't get emotional, because I'm like, there is people like that. They just explode. They wear their emotions like layers of a shirt and another shirt and another shirt, and they're just like, they don't do anything. Why? Because somebody told me 10 years ago that I'm not capable. And why? Oh, and I'm not dating because 2 years ago somebody dumped me, and I don't dare to do this thing. Why? Because I tried 4 months ago and it happened. It turned out. See, so you don't have that. So your drive doesn't get affected. So you move into action. So you start getting results. And sometimes you don't get results. You fail over and over and over, but because for the same reason that your self-control is better, you don't let your emotions control you. So you fail, but you start moving forward, and after you fail and you learn, you start getting results. So that's another good thing that you get when you control yourself. The second one is that you find out how insignificant social conditioning is. You find out how stupid, how I mean, I just find myself, I find myself telling myself how stupid I was for so long, caring what others think, and even caring what friends will think. It's just so stupid. It's so insignificant what people say about you. There is gonna people that are gonna come to you and they're gonna talk to you nicely, and you're gonna learn to say, okay, this I'll take it and I'll save it. But there's gonna be plenty of stuff that they're gonna attack you. They're gonna throw fire at you. People are gonna talk to you. You're gonna be spitting fire, and you're just gonna go next, delete, 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 delete. And they're not gonna get to you. So that's something but you don't open your eyes until you really work on it, until you really spend months working on it. But when you find out how stupid, how insignificant it is, paying attention to what people say or think about you, it's just, I cannot explain it. You have to live it to really understand. Now, how do you do that? Okay, number one, this is so important. You have to visualize your results, massive results. You have to visualize yourself getting massive results, non-stopping, reaching your goals, moving forward, failing, getting up and trying again. And you visualize yourself, reaching that goal and being successful. And you're not scared of dreaming, seeing yourself, because a lot of people I know, they want to visualize yourself. It's difficult because you already have in the back of your head, your mind saying, how since when do you think that you can achieve that? Since when? What makes you special? Why are you entitled? But that is just the voice of your old self, fearful and mediocre, that is used to talk to itself like that. But you just got to move. It's super important that you visualize that you can see yourself belonging up there, becoming that person, being successful, achieving what you want to do. Is very important, because you have to believe that you can do it. You really need to believe that you can become that person. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. You have to believe. You must believe. You gotta be able to see yourself doing that thing and say, you know what, before I reach that, I'm going to behave like that. I'm going to think like that. I'm going to walk. I'm going to talk. I'm going to my psychologically and physiologically and spiritually, and I'm gonna become that person before I am. And when you're working on something, you're not doing something and thinking, okay, this has got to prove to me that I can do this. Let's say you have a plan or you buy a product or something. This is not doesn't you don't you cannot be like, I need to see someone else doing it first. This has got to prove to me that I can do it. You don't think like that. You just do it. You say, I ain't gonna prove that this can work, that my plan can work. And if it doesn't work, well, you fix it, you change it, you cut here and you add here and you do stuff different. But you cannot expect to be, okay, this has got to prove to me first that it works and then I will try. It doesn't work like that. So that's the first thing that you got to do. Second one, it's an everyday work. This is not a, okay, I'll do it one day, the next day I forgot, and the third one I forgot, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. No, every single day you have to commit. The very first thing you wake up in the morning, and you have to do some kind of visualization. You have to do some kind of meditations. You have to do you gotta play something. You gotta play a mini movie, a tape or something, audio, video, whatever you want to play in your mind, whatever you want to see, whatever you want to read, whatever you want to listen to. But it's gotta be first thing in the morning that is gonna remind you, okay, this is it. This is a person that you're becoming now. This is you. You're not that guy 24 hours ago or 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago. You don't have to. You don't stick to that person. You don't have to be that person your entire life. Anytime you want, you can change. So this is a new person that you want to be, and you get to think, how would the highest expression of me? How would that person react to this situation, to this problem that I have right now? Anything that happens to you, how will the highest expression of me respond to what is going on in school or at home with my girlfriend, with a job, or whatever you need to do every day? How would the highest expression of me will respond to that? And that's what you want. That's what you want to do. Okay. And the last one is, you gotta create something that you can repeat to yourself. Create a mantra or a mini movie that you replay in your mind, or you tell to yourself every day, consistently, that is going to remind you that you are in the process, that you're already another person, and that you are in the process of shaping that person, and changing. That you're not staying on the same spot. You don't want to stay on the average, mediocre place, So you got to remind yourself. You got to remind yourself over and over consistently every day. Because this is something that you're gonna find. You want to fight against social conditioning. It's really hard, because you're gonna find plenty of adversities and obstacles every single day, every single hour. There is gonna be tons of things that are gonna happen to you that are gonna try to shake off your confidence, that are gonna try to take away, your self-worth and your self-image and your determination and your perseverance and everything that you're working on every single hour of the day. Every hour, I can guarantee you, every single hour that you live your life, you're gonna find something that sometimes is just a commercial. Sometimes you're just seeing someone that you start, oh, that person, blah, 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 and you start judging, and then you got to catch yourself. No more. I'm not that person anymore. Becoming another person, trying to change, doesn't mean that you're not gonna have those reactions. And sometimes you're judging people, and sometimes you get the emotions. Doesn't mean you don't have it. It just means that you learn to control it. You don't follow him, and you catch, this is the important part, you have the self-awareness, you catch yourself doing that. Okay, that's all right. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna do this anymore. See, so well, just remember, guys. I mean, this is something that takes months, but I can guarantee you, if you start working on it in days, it doesn't take more than 5 to 10 days when you start seeing little subtle changes in your personality. But it's amazing. It's just amazing what it can do to you. And one thing is that it's going to reveal an entire different world. You're gonna start seeing the world in a very different way. You're gonna start seeing people judging and going crazy and on TV or friends, and you're like, wow, I used to do that. That it is crazy, because you notice those things. You're like, why do people react? Why did I react? I was like that? Why did I react like these people to that? Why did I let that affect me so much? It's not, like I say, it's not easy. It's something that is going to take a while. It's not easy when you see someone responding nasty to stuff that you put on Facebook or something. But you get to the point where you say, you know what? A lot of people say, oh, if you don't respond, you're a chicken. People, you're accepting that they're right. No, that's not true. The smartest people in the world, the people that have that self-control, they don't care. Just like Jordan and Tom Landry, and Babe Ruth and those guys. I can't imagine how much shit people threw at them when they went through those difficult times of their lives. They didn't care. They didn't care. That's why they ended up being super successful. So, all right, guys. Well, I just wanted to tell you about this little project of mine. I hope it helps you. I really recommend that you do the same with it, with yourself. It's really helpful. Questions, suggestions, let me know. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a like. And it's been a pleasure. I hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye.